Greetings and salutations. My name is Bruce L. I go by the name of TGM Show Nuff in my gaming communities. However, I am what I would consider to be the game master for Chronicles of Eorzea. And this channel was literally meant to be a place for me to experiment, in content creation and Final Fantasy XIV, produce stories, to do machinimas, things like that. Hopefully to meet up with, friends, possible friends, like-minded people that also produces Final Fantasy XIV content for their respective YouTube channels. And more so, I like to RP. That's something I've wanted to do, something I wanted to, try. I originated from Midgard-Sormer. For me, I feel like doing this video to talk about something that has recently transpired. I didn't want to do this because I felt like I wanted to be one of the guys to just kind of sit back and just allow the GMs to handle this. But I feel like that if this is not addressed, that it's going to spread like wildfire, and many people are just going to dismiss it to be just something that we just can't necessarily do. And I feel that as a gamer, as a person that has placed time, money, and effort into Final Fantasy XIV, this is something that is very important to me because I love this game too much. All right, one of my favorite things to do in this game is to, do character creations or character designing, things like that, to just help out players in terms of just glam, stuff like that. To dive right in while I'm doing this video. Just as of this video, I've endured 2 weeks straight of nothing but misogynistic statements, slurs, racism even, and it has been abundantly increasing in Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, there's so many players out there that would say that, oh, this community is so great and things like that. To me, that is absolutely a bold-faced lie, because there's so many players in this game that would look over these issues and they say that if it's not pertaining to them, if they're not worried about it, and they'll just meet so many people. And yes, there's great people in this game. I've met them, but as of recently, this toxicity in Final Fantasy XIV has increased. Some people will blame players from World of Warcraft transferring over to lend their credence in the toxicity in this game. Who knows? Who cares? The real life stigma or the real life political issues that has been pragmatic in our communities it's now prevalent in Final Fantasy XIV in some cases, and there's too many people that would just shout out in chats, that will do this crap posting. And I've seen so much gaslighting, condescending conversations, condescending statements that again they try to really just condense the issues in the game. They try to condense the issues by saying that if it's not pertaining to me, I have nothing to do with it, or they don't take up for anybody else. But if somebody they know in the know they're being trolled, or they're and they're the ones that are a victim, they're the victim, then what they do is they'll victimize it even further by simply just gaslighting them. And that's what I've been subjected to. As of recently, I've written an article about male Vieras, more so about my experience as a male Viera in Final Fantasy XIV. Is a race that I was very neutral about, and to be honest with you, I think their aesthetic is awesome. I don't have a problem with them. If you take a look at one of my favorite YouTube videos pertaining to about the announcements of the male Vieras, and her reaction was absolutely spectacular. At the end of the day, I felt that was the way how I felt when I first saw them, and I couldn't wait to play them. And by the time that I was able to do it, well, I created my character Ashley Riot. He's actually a character who I consider a sequel character to one of Square Enix fantastic IPs, which is known as Vagrant Story. And I grew up playing that game, and I've wanted to create a sequel character or of that type into Final Fantasy XIV and RP that, if you will. And the results has been immaculate. Some has been a hit or miss. Others has just been pretty cool. Well, it's not just the misogyny that I receive in terms of my limited social strata into the game, because I choose to be a male Viera and I just want to enjoy myself. And so many people would state, and I kid you not, from a 6'9" black guy here, you know, somebody would tell me that I need to play a real man's character. You know what I'm saying? Just because I choose to use a male Viera, that we should take serious. And the use of the term bun boy would definitely serve as something that I don't like, because for me it stigmatizes the male Viera, and that you can't necessarily take them serious. People can play them how they want to. That's on you. But for me, I take my character serious, and that's just me. That's my time in Final Fantasy XIV. Everybody has a choice that they make how they wish to approach the game. I wish to, to approach mine legitimately. I'd ask for respect, but many people don't do that though. And that's what brings to this video, because it's not just that I have faced racism. Yes, racism. Not my character being racist, or my racism, or in-game racism, but OOC, or out of character racism. I'll explain. One of my cards has my face on there, okay, because for transparency for other players, so they know who I am. And instead of actually celebrating this, because we all should be embracing, celebrating community, unity in our community, instead, rather, this person, if you see on these screenshots, I was subjected to this just because this person was being a problem to another person for using a female aura. And nobody wasn't standing up for her, so I did. And I get subjected to being, because of the color of my skin. So because of the color of my skin, right? I don't get it. Because, I don't understand that at all. And it's become apparent as of recently that there's so many people have went from calling me a monkey to me, I need to know my place monkey, or, saying, yo, I need to play, or rather if they, calling me all these derogatory terms, from monkey to the N word with the hard ER, even with the hard NA, you know what I'm saying? And it's just ridiculous, man. And they would assume that I'm from the ghetto, or with the stereotype of me being a black man. I'm a comedian, man, but this right here is ridiculous. This is not funny to me. And the community has become toxic. Balmung being one of the main ones, being the example of that. Do you think it's cool to be gaslighted when someone says, hey, chill out? Or if a person was to utilize a emote out of a suggestive manner, something to which that I've never consented to, and yet when I run away from that, they follow me and continue to persist on harassing me, and then they will call me all these names and idiotic terminologies, and then they would gaslight me. They with the purpose of trying to run me away from my game that I have spent time in, to try to escape the idiocy of what goes on in our society today in real life. You mean to honestly tell me that I'm the problem? No. That's not right. That's not right at all. I own over 34 characters, because I took my time in to say that I love the character designing so much, and I wanted to actually share that with everybody. I wanted to share a piece of my passion of this game to each and every last one of you guys that have been, looking at my content on YouTube. I don't want to be like the next Zeppelin. I don't want to be like any other YouTuber out there. I want to be like myself. Because I know that if there are flaws, I can fix them. All I want to do is just simply grow a community. What's wrong with that? Square, I love you guys ever since Final Fantasy VII, ever since you guys released Final Fantasy for the Nintendo. More so Secret of Mana, banging classics. Secret of Mana, Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. Alright? You guys have made some epic bangers that I grew up on. Still own these games. But this right here, this should not be in our community. For us as a community, if you see anybody being subjected to it, stop not saying, stop, look, and simply step up and step in and say something. Because mental health is 100% super serious. And I may be grammatically incorrect here at this point, but I'm just being completely honest that we need to start being a better community. All this hate, gender hate, crazy hate, all this hate, color, all this jazz. If I choose to be a male Viera and want to take myself serious, then I have every right to do so. The same way if I want to use a male Ira, people want to call them groomers and twinks and all this other jazz, which twink is actually a body type, not a derogatory term from being gay, just educational for you. The same way if a person wants to use a Makote or to use a Lalafell. There's no such thing as child-coded. Lalafells are not children. They're dwarves. Elvises are not giraffes. They're elves. So do yourself a favor, and if you see anybody just pressing on with this toxicity, push them over to the side and start trying to bring in the positivity. Because the person that you may be harassing, they may be going through something right now in the real world. Or they may be going through some things just because of what you output to everybody else will affect others. It's not, your words isn't just a game, it's reality as well. Who you are behind your character says a lot about how you interact with others in game. It's just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Can we please just get along? That's all I ask. I just want friends, man. I just want to play the game. I just want to just produce content and just have fun. That's all I ask. This, and my use of using a male Viera, should not limit who I talk to in the game, man. Let's be better than that. Thank you guys for watching, man. Show enough.